This is the review for Kirbold, originally designed in 2009 by BZ Power forum leader Inner Rag, where it became canonized in the unofficial German Third Man contest. Before we get into the review, quick disclaimer. Any or all of these Canon models are open to inaccuracies. I try my best to build these as accurate to the source pictures as possible. If I find any instructions for these models, I will link them in the description below. So, without any further ado, on to the review. Kirbold is an Agori from the ice tribe of Iconics, where he takes up the occupation as a miner, collecting and refining precious metals, such as Obsidian. He's also very quick-witted, often coming up with taunting quips and getting ideas to get out of certain sticky situations. He's also very proud of his work, wanting to make sure everything is on the up and up all the way to the end. Some of Kirbold's more famous appearances are in The Crossing, where he joins Tarduk, Gresh, and Strack to deliver Obsidian to Volcanus, and in the story serial Riddle of the Great Beings, where he joins Tarduk and Crotesius as they travel around from the Forest of Blades to the River Dormus in search of answers of the mysterious Red Star. Taking a look at the model, Kirbold follows the previously established Av-Matoran build. He has the standard upright torso with the pre-bent legs and then the updated Mata feet from 2008 onward. At the head, he has a trans-blue Glatorian head, and then he has the same helmet that Kirbraz and Skidonius have from the Kaxium V3 set, and it's been flipped around to make him a little more unique. It looks good. And then the arms are where things really get interesting. Kirbold does not have Av-Matoran arms. Instead, he has white connectors connected to a Metru forearm connected to the standard 2009 Glatorian fist. And this is just wonderful. It's such a simple change that makes him so much more expressive and posable, all from adding 2 extra pieces to get an extra joint. And I love it. It gives him so much more posability. Speaking of posability, Kirbold is more articulated than your average Av-Matoran build. So, he's got the standard ball joint at the head. You can look up, down, side to side. The helmet does run into things, or the shoulders. The legs are exactly the same as all the other Av-Matoran. Can go up that far, back that far. He can do the splits way higher than he needs to. And then he gets a full rotation at the ankle, up, down. It's pretty standard. The arms, you get your shoulder joint as usual, so you can go up, down, all around. And then you get your elbow joint, which, if positioned correctly, he can go a little bit more than the 90 both ways. And then the other way, he can go about that far. Now, positioning this connector is kind of important to however you want the elbow to work, because just having it like that, you won't get much articulation, but if you fiddle around with it, you can get good articulation. You just have to position it right. So it will take some understanding of the connector and all that, but if you've played with Bionicles with this kind of elbow design before, you should have no problem. And then finally, the wrists are exactly the same. You get a full rotation, curl, and it's all very standard. It's just the elbows really bring out the best in Kirbold and really make him just a fun figure. Kirbold is shown to have one accessory, that being his dagger. And this is the same piece we see with the Kopaka Fantoka set. And it would be later thrown in here and there with other sets, but it primarily came with Kopaka. And then it has a little blue, trans-blue lightsaber blade there. And that just plugs into his hand, like so. It's a simple weapon, and it works perfectly well. In terms of issues of this model, the brittle joints on anything released from 2008 onward, but other than that, he's practically perfect in my opinion. There's nothing really bad I can say about this model. Alright, and finally, size-wise, Kirbold comes in at about 13 centimeters or 5 inches. And he's about maybe 12 centimeters wide, 4 3/4 inches. So he's a good size. He's the size of your average Agori. Comparisons, here he is next to Tahu, or the Mata build, the Metru build, and the Anika build. Move up a little. And here he is next to a Fig. Here he is next to the Tarduk. Every It's Canon review is going to get compared to the Tarduk. And finally, my previous It's Canon video, melding pterodax. Oh, I gotta move back, hold on. There we go. So, yeah. He's a good small little set, or model. So, yeah. Now, if you want to build this model for yourself from scratch, some of the more noteworthy pieces that are hard to find are the helmet, as it only appears in one set, the Kaxium V3. The white connectors that make up the upper arm only appear in one set, that being Pridak, and they may be a little harder to find in larger quantities. The legs, which are only released in the Metis set, and finally the feet. I'm referring to the squared version released in 2008 onward, but if you're not particular about that, I recommend using the 2001 variant of this piece, as it's much easier to find and has less potential to break. So that's Kirbold, the proud miner of Iconics. He is a great Agori model, very articulated, very expressive, and a great step in the right direction for anyone who does not like the Av-Matoran pre-bent limbs. I highly recommend this model, especially if you want to fill out your 2009 cast. And with that, we are halfway down the road we're traveling to a conclusion which I am very excited to share with you. But you're going to have to wait a little longer. It's a surprise. So, don't forget to subscribe and hit that little bell so you can stay up to date with all my latest videos. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all next time.